Loading up Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees.
Thanks for tuning in. Another episode of Riding with Brennan. Today we're going to be talking about May being Motorcycle Awareness.
May is Motorcycle Awareness Month.
So I'm here with ABATE from member Leroy Big Sexy from ABATE 18.
I'm from Region 18, which is Southeast Michigan, but I'm also the state board awareness officer for the whole state of Michigan.
Okay.
So I go all over the state and help teach classes. 2 weeks ago, I was up in Fowlerville teaching a class because we had no teachers up there. So I went up and taught the class up there.
Okay. So
I go all over the state.
how long have you been a member of ABATE?
I've been a member of ABATE since 1990.
Okay.
So 35 years.
Couple years.
As any volunteer organization, longer you're in it, more you volunteer, more you get. So yeah, I started out as just a regular member, and then I got in a bad motorcycle accident. Took me off of what I like to do was I always gave to the community, even though I didn't serve. I was a volunteer firefighter
Okay.
for almost 15 years. And I got into a bad motorcycle accident. A person hit me and it messed up my left leg. I was off for recovery for about a year. And when I went back to the fire department, even though I was able to walk on my leg and all that, I still didn't feel safe, entering a building, trying to rescue people, that kind of stuff. So I stopped doing that and went with more of the motorcycle awareness part of ABATE and started teaching classes 25 years ago. And I've just slowly worked myself up from being on the state committee to now being the state officer.
That's how shit rolls, right? You just snowball.
Moving myself up the list.
Yeah. So ABATE, everybody, and I say this all the time, everybody equates ABATE with the helmet law.
Right.
But there's a lot more to ABATE than...
Yeah, ABATE's a three-pronged system. Everybody knows us about our political stuff, how we're in Lansing fighting for bikers' rights, all bikers. We don't care if you're an MC, an independent, an RC, and that we fight for your rights in Lansing. As ABATE of Michigan, we're fighting for your rights. We fight stuff the normal person don't know about.
Right.
Because we stop it before it gets to them. So, Michigan does have a helmet law. Believe it or not, guys, we do have a helmet law.
That's got to do with how long you've been riding and the amount of insurance.
Well, you have to had your license for more than 2 years or took the safety classes at the community college.
Okay.
You have to be over 21. So even though you took the safety class at 17 and that, you still got to be over 21. And you have to carry extra insurance.
Yeah.
And you have to be a licensed rider.
Well, you would think that would go without saying.
But there's a lot of guys out there that ride without an endorsement.
Yeah, I was never one of those.
No, neither was I. My younger days, dirt roads, that kind of stuff, how I learned how to ride.
Oh, yeah.
But then when I hit 18, I went and got my license through the state, and I've been licensed ever since. I'm a very, very important that you need to have your license. You need to know what you're doing out there.
Agree. Yeah. And there's enough hazards without us being our own worst enemy.
That's ABATE. So we're fighting for your rights in Lansing and that. We also fight in Washington as the MRF in Lansing, in Washington.
Motorcycle Riders Foundation.
Right. We're big. ABATE's big into that. If you're an ABATE member, you belong to both pretty much because you join both. We do the motorcycle awareness classes where we go to driver's ed schools and we teach the teenagers getting their license on why we do what we do, how to share the road with us, how not to hit us pretty much. Because again, that's how I lost my being a volunteer firefighter was because of an accident. And then the third thing we do is we help you get your license at the community college.
Yeah. Yep.
We teach those classes at the college. If you go through the classes at the college, it only costs you $50.
Yep.
And we do all the paperwork. We do it all. Once you're done with us, the 7 to 10 days, your license comes in the mail to your house and you're certified at that point. If you go through most of the bike dealerships, they're 350 plus now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And a waiting list.
And a waiting list. And there's a waiting list at the community college too.
Okay.
But it's a lot cheaper and first come, first serve. So make sure you get your name on the list.
Yeah.
And those are the three things that ABATE is doing for all the bikers in Michigan. Well, countrywide.
Yeah.
It's ABATE of ABATE. And if most of y'all don't understand what ABATE is, it's American Bikers Aiming Towards Education.
Okay.
That's what we're mainly aiming for, is the education, the colleges, and the driver's ed schools.
Yeah.
And Lansing, fighting for everybody's rights.
Yeah. Education, not just for bikers, but for non-bikers, for cagers,
For
bikers, for
everybody.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want everybody. A lot of the classes that I teach at, even though I'm teaching the student how to look out for us, I've had parents, because they hear that there's a biker coming in to teach a class. You know, we get that reputation. I've had parents come in and sit in the back of the class and actually afterwards tell me that they didn't know some of the stuff that I was teaching the kids.
Oh, and I'm sure of that. Unless you're in the light, I mean, yeah, I get that. I can see that happening pretty easily. So, how did May become Motorcycle Awareness Month? Is that something you even know? Is that a Washington thing, or is that just a Michigan thing? Is that
It's a state, it's a countrywide thing. It's in every state. To be absolutely honest with you, it started so freaking long ago. You know, how is October Breast Awareness Month, you know, with pink cancer, you know?
Yeah.
And February is African American Month. You know, it's just something that somebody decides that this is what we're going to do.
That's it.
And that's it.
Okay. So ABATE has, I'm sure there's a chapter near you. There, like you said, they're nationwide. There's a ton of chapters in Michigan.
In Michigan, we have 22 chapters.
So, and it's something to get involved in. You guys have events.
We have rides. We do a lot of charity rides.
Yep.
We do for Jerry's Kids. We do a lot of cancer rides. We also do like the Humane Society rides. And that we do a lot of different charity groups. We join a lot of groups and ride.
Yep. And you've seen, I'm sure everybody, even in the cars, have seen Look Twice, Save a Life. Motorcycles are everywhere. And those are the signs that you guys.
The yellow and black signs, it says that. That's us. We started that about, early 2000s.
Okay.
Pretty much 2020, 2001 is when we started out with the signs.
Okay.
And the bumper stickers, we make a lot of those, and we give them out. And we also have like magnets that you can stick to your car. But unfortunately, a lot of the cars now are aluminum and plastic. It ain't sticking anymore.
Well, a little taper.
Yeah, my 2 of my cars, the magnets won't stick to them no more. So I got some nice magnets in my garage on the refrigerator.
Hey, there you go.
Because that's where they stick.
Yeah, right. Well, people come over,
but
see it.
Yeah, back of my car, I got 2 stickers up on my car. It says "Look Twice, Save a Life." Motorcycles are everywhere.
Yeah, and we are. And it seems like always early season. Technically, it's not. I guess it's kind of early season right now, and kind of getting into main season. But
right now, yeah, the last couple of weeks, really in Michigan, the weather's broke, and you see a lot more bikes out. But there's a bunch of me and my buddies that go out for a ride January 1st.
There you go.
As long as the weather's decent, the roads are dry, we go out and have lunch for January 1st, kick off the new year.
There you go.
I teach the kids, when do you expect to see a motorcycle? And you hear spring, summer, fall. And I said, no, year round. As long as the roads are dry,
Someone's gonna ride.
somebody's out riding.
You know, and Magoo automatically pops into my mind. I don't know if you know Magoo, but he's
Yep, Magoo, our old president, Vince.
okay.
Vince, every year he rides to the seminar on a motorcycle. He
Okay.
rides with a sidecar because I've seen him ride up there in 6 inches of snow.
Sidecar makes it year round.
Yeah. So our president retired last year, Vince. He rides. He also's in charge of the colleges, getting the instructors to teach at the colleges.
Okay.
He's still in charge of that.
Okay, so I did meet most of you guys that came up to seminar.
Yeah, I didn't get to see you. I wanted to.
You were
but
busy.
I
You were
was
busy.
busy.
But that was a cool thing. So ABATE has a seminar annually, right?
Yep.
And there is a lot of good speakers, a lot of good info, and that was a lot of fun because they have a lot of drawings and raffles, and all the chapters from the state are there. Most, I think, were represented in some way, shape, or form. And I had a lot of fun, and I learned a bunch and talked to a bunch of people. So that was a good time. So keep an eye out for that.
We also
Facebook.
we also have a film meet in June.
Okay.
It's going to be up by Holton Lake.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice. It's kind of like the Easy Rider Rodeo. There's games, there's events, there's a ride. Yeah, and it's just 3 days of camping and relaxation.
21 and over. That should be
Yeah.
Comparing it to Easy Ride.
No, we allow 18. You gotta be 18.
Okay.
But you get a different color wristband that you gotta wear because
Okay.
you can't have alcohol.
Oh, right. I just because if you're gonna compare it to Easy Ride, I don't want someone showing up with their kid. Like,
No, you gotta be 18 and above.
okay, right on.
You can't bring 5-year-olds in that there because if anybody knows anything about bikers and rodeo and the Easy Rider Rodeo and that, they might see something that they shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah.
but,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
that's true.
that's for
See shit we can't unsee at Easy Riders.
yeah. Well, sorry for to say I've been to the beach and I've seen some things at the beach I shouldn't have been seeing either.
yeah.
So
Oh, you saw
that's
me.
just not bikers.
Oh, you saw me. Right on.
But as I teach the classes, I give the kids items to keep them remembering about looking out for us.
Sure.
Like I give every kid a keychain. On the front it says ABATE of Michigan, it's a little motorcycle. And on the back it says look twice,
Save a life.
save a life. Every kid gets a pen. It takes the class. It says ABATE of Michigan, look twice, save a life. That way when they're using it,
Yep.
and that they remember. And especially in the fall, winter for school, these are nice to hand them.
Oh yeah.
And kids get a wristband.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm wearing 2 of them. This one is probably 10 years old, and this one's a couple of years old because it's a different design.
Yep.
But I give all the kids a wristband that take the class.
Nice.
That way, when they're wearing them, they remember to look out for us.
Right.
In fact, here you go.
Thanks, man. I got an open wrist right here.
See?
Put that bad boy on. Now I remember to look for me.
Yeah.
So, cool, man. Sports bikes, and it should be noted, the term bikers automatically, I think, in a lot of people that don't know the community, puts a negative stereotype in their mind. But we're talking sport bikes, Vespas. I mean,
We have a guy in our group we call Scooter Bob. And the reason we call him Scooter Bob is he rode a 450 Yamaha scooter.
okay.
As long as it's over 125, it's considered a motorcycle.
Yep.
But he showed up and went on all of our rides on this. We called it an oversized scooter. So we just nicknamed him Scooter Bob.
That's how you get your names and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I ain't going to tell you how I got mine.
Yeah,
That was quite a few years ago.
family show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I see the big part. I'll give you that.
ABATE is a big family. We're family orientated. Like my region, we have 2 events every year that we definitely tell you to bring your children. It's a family orientated event.
Okay.
Our meetings, our monthly meetings, we have kids come to our monthly meetings. ABATE started this year a junior ABATE program.
Okay.
So we're wanting to get the 14 to 18-year-olds that are looking at ride dirt bikes and ride scooters and that more involved with ABATE. That way, because they're our future to keep the organization going.
Yeah, and you have to refresh the ranks because that's you got to keep it simple. That's how we all started: mini bikes, mopeds, dirt bikes.
Right.
So it makes sense to target, and I don't want to say target, but to focus on those groups, emphasize the younger groups coming up like that to get them more involved in ABATE and
Well,
realize that, you know,
yeah, I there for a long time in my own personal region, I always joked around that I was the longest active member, and the youngest because I joined when I was like 25 years old,
okay,
and I'm now hitting 60.
right. The problem with that is, and that I think that, and I don't want to say the problem, but I think people don't really get as involved in government and legal issues that don't directly affect them until you get older. You know what I mean?
Right,
Typically.
right. We most of our newer members we seem to focus in on is the late 30, early 40 age.
Yep.
Because they've lived their wild life, and now they start realizing that they need to be more involved in
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
And it's not just the political. Um, I am in the political arena up there, but my main focus as a state awareness officer is education, is the classes,
Sure.
is keeping us safe. And I have taught probably 12,000 students
Nice.
over the years. And I even have last year, I had two students that showed up and their dad came with them, and I taught him
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
back when he was getting his license.
That's really cool.
So,
Repeat.
repeat. So
That's awesome.
they remember me and that. And I joke around with the kids. I try to make my classes fun, educational, and fun, and that. And I tell the kids, this is how I look 99% of the time. I have jeans on.
Yeah.
I'm usually wearing my vest, and I have my cowboy hats. I have different color ones, but I have my cowboy hats. You see me, come up and talk to me. And I've had kids run up in the malls when there used to be malls. There ain't that many anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've had kids come up and talk to me. I've had kids come up to me like at the fair or the festivals.
Yeah.
Because I'll be out there and they'll come up and start talking to me saying, I remember your class and that. So I believe we've made a difference with doing the classes because the classes really didn't get started till the early 2000s.
Okay.
There was some, but in early 2000, we really started the ABATE state really started pushing the classes.
Okay.
And I mean, I enjoy it. If you don't know about ABATE, it's a volunteer organization.
Not an MC.
So, we're not a club. We're an organization, and everything you do is volunteer. If you're coming to ABATE thinking you're going to earn a paycheck, you're not going to earn a paycheck.
No.
I teach my classes for free.
Okay.
When I drove from Monroe to Fowlerville,
Free.
I ate it.
Yeah.
That's mine to teach kids. Yeah, we're a volunteer organization. And if you want to volunteer, we're always looking for more people. We're always looking for teachers to help teach.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to have a passion for it. There's a lot of people that's taught 2 or 3 classes. Some that's taught a couple of years, and they get burned out.
I can see it.
Thank God, knock on wood, I have never got burned out. I love teaching kids.
Well, good. That's good. And hopefully there's a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of people like you doing that.
I joke around. My youngest, not my youngest, my grandson, just turned 16 the first of the month.
Oh boy!
And I was dragging him to awareness driver's ed schools when we were babysitting him when he was like 4, 5, 6 years old.
Right on.
When his mom and dad worked nights, me and my wife would babysit, and I would drag him to classes with me. And my daughter-in-law called me up one day and said, quit teaching my son to yell at me because I teach the kids, you got to stay off your phones.
Yeah.
You got, know, that's a bad thing is a cell phone. We all have them, but it's a bad thing when you're driving. And he was riding in the back seat with his mom, and she answered the phone, and he started yelling at her saying, "Grandpa says get off your phone when you're driving."
Attaboy.
Yeah, she called me up when they got
Attaboy.
to the store and said he was yelling at her for being on the phone.
I was first saying,
But-
why were you on the phone?
But at least my grandson learned.
Yeah.
And I joke with him now. He just got his license. And I say, "Are you looking out for us?" He says, "Oh, yeah, Grandpa. I'm always looking out for
Attaboy.
bikers." So,
Good. Attaboy.
you know what? I sunk it in his head quite well when he was a kid.
Right on, man. Good to do. When you guys are and this question you may not even know, this might be at a little higher level up the road in Washington, even, but what is going on, or how are you guys focusing on getting the younger generation, the electronic gamer generation, or whatever? I mean, because almost everybody has an app for some shit, or everybody's going electronic. I'm digitally impaired. This show is living proof of that. So
We mainly shoot for the kids that's more out there in more active
yeah,
than your set down video game kids. They're not out riding dirt bikes. They're not out doing
Sure.
that. So aiming towards them ain't really helping. We love them. I would love for them to learn how to ride and all that. But mainly we aim towards the kids that's riding
sure.
because they're the ones that we have. And we aim for people that want to get their license. And Vince always joked around because he asked me to go start teaching those classes, but I can't get too thin. And he always jokes around. He likes the virgin riders to teach.
Okay.
The ones that haven't learned bad habits like we have.
Yeah.
We started out with bad habits. And then when you go take the class, they're trying to break you from the bad habits because they want you to learn it the right way.
Well, yeah. Yep.
So they're always looking for the ones that want to get your first bike and you want to get your license and that. And again, the government and that and the insurance companies really rake us.
Yeah, we're not.
But if you take the safety courses, you go out and you get your license through the college or driver's ed or the dealerships, you get a discount for having that certificate.
Yep.
Like taking driver's ed schools. You take the driver's ed, you get a discount because you went through the driver's ed course.
Right.
If you just wait and go get your license without going to
express pass,
they charge you more.
Yep.
Trust me, I know. I got 4 kids, 2 daughters, 2 sons. My sons pay cheaper because they took driver's ed. My oldest daughter took driver's ed. She got it. Her insurance is cheaper. My youngest one, she didn't. She waited till she was 18 because there was always rules. You had to get past your classes.
Yeah.
Or dad ain't paying for class.
Yeah.
So she just went and got her license when she's 18. She pays 20% more for insurance in Michigan.
What did we learn?
Because she didn't take the courses.
Right.
So, and that's same as motorcycles. You take the safety course at the college or the dealerships, you get a little cheaper on insurance.
Okay. Yeah, and insurance, that's a whole other episode for motorcycle
I tell you,
insurance, man. We definitely are getting the shaft.
I make 2 house payments a month, one to the house and one to the insurance companies.
Oh yeah, man. Oof, I tell you. So what you got going on with your board here? You got some ropes driven on there?
Yeah, I see.
I'll put this.
I show the kids like when we're on a motorcycle going up the highway and somebody's coming on the ramp, right? When you get to the bottom of the ramp, what do?
Hammer the throttle. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're not up to speed to get in front of people,
yeah,
you got to stop.
Yep.
They don't realize that.
But and most people don't fucking stop, right?
But as a bikers, and we're in a group, the way we change lanes is the back bikes move over to block traffic.
Yep.
And then all the other bikes move over. Well, if you're 1/4 mile long, you don't see that car up there. You're not, the back bikes ain't moving over.
Yeah.
And if all the other bikes start, you're causing havoc.
Yeah.
So I teach the kids, because the driver's ed schools really don't teach them anymore, that when you get to the bottom of the ramp and you see a bunch of vehicles or motorcycles, if you can't get in front of them, you got to stop.
Yeah, and nobody does. They'll just squeeze out and complain.
Well, back when I got my license back in the early 80s, at every ramp, there was a yield sign.
Oh, yeah, no, not anymore.
Not no more. State went through and took them all.
Seldom, even if there's construction going on.
Right.
There, but yeah.
And then I show them like here, we're doing a run, and then we're coming up to an intersection, and if we have police escorts, I show them what the police do, like how they block the traffic, so that way the traffic can keep moving. And I teach the kids, I tell the guys, hey, well, I'd start with the ladies. I said, look at the bikes. There's some pretty painted bikes out there. Take it, relax. Just look at the motorcycles. Check out the guys riding the bikes. There's some good-looking bikers. I'm not one of them, but there's some good-looking bikers.
Yeah, they're not on this episode, but yeah.
And then I teach the guys. Look at the bikes. There's some painted bikes. Check out the girls on the bikes. Bikers seem to get some pretty good, hot-looking biker chicks.
Yeah,
Then we get to the average one.
Yeah,
but we get some. And then I teach them over here. This one.
Billy's probably walking that one.
That if you're coming up behind a bunch of bikes, what do? You don't have to stay behind us.
No.
We could be going slow for a reason. There could be an obstacle we got to worry about in there. If you're behind us, you can always just change lanes. And I show it it's a 2-lane road each way. And they can just change lanes. They don't have to stay behind us.
Should be noted, a little bit different etiquette if you're on a bike coming up behind some patched guy. I know somebody that's in this room that, didn't have that etiquette once. Anyway, moving on. So, but yeah, if you're in a vehicle, you don't have to go, you don't have to stay behind us and just let us if we're another quarter mile long here, this guy's going to be getting pissed if he's trying to stay behind us the whole way.
And I teach the kids also, like if there's a driveway up here or something, don't speed past a bunch of bikes to pull in front of them to make a right-hand turn. That you're going to make bikes have to lock up their brakes or something. Yeah. Don't cut bikers off and that. And then I even though I teach a 2-hour class, and about an hour and 45 minutes of it is mainly all about bikes. And then the last 15 minutes, I ask the kids, what do you think I do for a living? And I get a whole bunch of different answers. I don't know how kids think that I'm a mechanic because I couldn't fix nothing. I can't fix nothing. But I teach them that I'm a truck driver.
Okay. Which that's a profession for a lot of bikers have.
Right. And I've been driving trucks for over 40 years.
So you've seen it.
I started driving trucks back before I even had a license because I grew up on a farm. So I was driving them around the fields and that. My driver's license looks like the alphabet. They're an endorsement out there that I don't have.
Right.
So I teach them how to stay away from us too.
Okay.
How not to follow us, not to be right beside us all the time unless it's a construction zone and that. And I tell them a story about when I was driving down the highway fully loaded. I had this little Chevy Cavalier back in the day pull up beside me, and she just stayed right there. I had a tire blow on the outside of my trailer. And when it blew, it busted her passenger door window, her back hatch window, and that scared her so bad she drove into the concrete wall. So I teach the kids, either get in front of us or stay behind us because
shit happens.
And there's a lot of blind spots on a semi that people don't realize that I can hide a full-size conversion van in my blind spots.
Yeah.
But I teach the kids, safety rules on the road and that stuff. And my biggest thing I tell them is that I am an offensive driver, and people don't understand that. When I go to work and I come home, I have to watch what's going on around me, because if you do something stupid in front of me and I'm on my motorcycle, you're going to kill me.
Right.
And then when I'm at work driving 160,000 pounds, which is a gravel train, fully loaded, super-sized gravel train, I can weigh 160,000 pounds. That's double the normal semi, which only weighs 80,000.
That's 80 tons.
So, no, 160,000 is 80 tons.
Yeah.
80,000 is 40 tons.
Yep.
So I'm double the weight of a regular semi. And it takes a train 2.5 football fields to stop safely.
Yeah.
So I teach them how to stay away from us in that. And that's, and as an instructor, I feel even though I'm there about motorcycle safety and that, I also believe as a professional truck driver, I have to. Because if you do something stupid in front of me in my semi,
You're not
I'm
losing
going to
that
hit you and
Yeah,
kill you.
yeah, you're not losing that fight.
Right. So, so I'm an offensive driver all the time. I never just relax. I'm always got my eyes going everywhere.
Right.
And I teach the kids that. Do you know how to pay attention? You do the clock system. Okay. You look straight ahead. You look at your dashes. You turn and look to the right to the passenger mirror. You turn and look to the left to your driver's side mirror. You look back ahead and at the mirror at your gauges in ahead of you. You'll always have your eyes turning.
Yeah.
That keeps you offensive. That keeps you paying attention on what's going on around you.
Right on.
You know, and we show them videos. I got 3 different videos I show them. And one of the videos is
safety videos where it's like, oh, and all of a sudden it shows the dummy fall on the ground. And
well, we have an old video. It was
Yeah.
made in the 80s.
yeah, okay.
And I tell the kids this is a very dorky movie, but everything on it we deal with on a daily basis. And then I show them another one where a guy pulls up to a stop sign and takes off and the bike hits the side of his car. And then Washington State made another one almost 10 years ago now that I also show them. It's a more modern day one,
Okay.
but it doesn't hit all the points. But you're a rider, right?
Yeah.
What part of the lane do you ride in?
It depends on the road. I try if I'm on the right lane, I hug the left lane, the kind of ride left center. That way I have room to move over if someone's coming into me, and vice versa, right? So
see that the videos show that the biker rides on the left side of the lane. Okay. And I tell the kids that's not true. Bikers ride where we feel the safest.
Yeah.
We have to feel comfortable when we're riding where we feel safe.
Right.
I got buddies that ride on the right side, and they tell me that way if something happens, they can drive to the ditch to get away from it.
Yeah.
I got friends that ride in the middle of the lane. They feel safer right in the middle behind the car in the front of them, and that's where they feel safe. And I'm like you. I ride the left side. I like that left side. I want people passing somebody to know that I'm there.
Yeah.
And not cut in and shove me off the road. I like to be able to see what's coming at me from the opposite way. I like to see the driver's eyes in their mirror on their passenger side door. I can see ahead of them. I can see behind me. I like the left side. But I teach the kids, bikers ride where they feel the safest. There is no certain spot that you should see bikes. They should be everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I teach them that lane belongs to us. That whole lane.
Yeah.
Even though we're only 3 foot wide, 4 foot wide in a 12-foot lane, that lane still belongs to us for emergency moves.
Yeah. We have just as much right to it as they do.
Right. Don't cut us off. Don't squeeze in on us.
Right on.
And then I show them, you know, the stuff that bikers wear. You know, one of my jokes is, what color can you get leathers in?
Pretty much any color you want, really.
Right. But mostly I hear black.
Black, yeah.
Right. And I tell them, you name a color, you can buy leathers in it. We got a young lady that wears nothing but white. We got another one that wears nothing but light purple. That's their favorite colors. That's what they buy their leathers in.
Yeah.
Black is the most common color because it's the most reasonable in price.
Yes.
You know, a black pair of chaps can run you $120. They can run up to $400 if you get fancy with them. A leather vest like this one probably cost me $80 when I bought it. Now I probably got $300 invested in it with all the patches and that, but this cost me about $80.
Okay.
So right there, I'm at $200. My one coat costs $150. I got one that cost me $600 because it's
Protective gear.
brown and black and it's got fringes on it. And it's got
right on.
all kinds of shiny things all over it. It cost me a lot of money. I wear that one. But what I tell the kids is this: just because the person's wearing black does not mean they're a club member.
No.
They could be an independent. They could be a volunteer. Colors does not make anybody a bad person.
No.
It's just the most common in price, so that's what most bikers
Yeah,
wear is black.
Yeah, most readily available.
Right.
So
I teach the kids why we wear what we wear, to protect our legs, protect our bodies, and that. I teach them that
I'd be the
headbands, we wear these to keep the sweat out of our eyes and that, and the hair. Most people don't realize that Michigan has a eye protection ordinance.
Oh yeah, like 35 miles an hour.
35. If you ride anything that goes faster than 35, you got to wear glasses.
I'd be the worst example for that. Safety gear. My ass will ride in shorts and flip flops sometimes. So don't do what I do. You get through life pretty far following that advice. Don't do it.
Even though this is a family show, I'll tell you a joke. It ain't a joke, but it happened. I have never rode a motorcycle without jeans on. Jeans is the basic.
Yeah.
I wear. Mostly I got my leathers on, but jeans is the basic.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I wear if I'm going 3 miles to the store to get something.
Yeah.
Just jump on the bike with my jeans. I have a buddy that used to wear nothing but basketball shorts. Big baggy basketball shorts.
He get a B up there?
Oh yeah.
I did too, man.
What kind was yours?
Kind of B? I don't know. It was enough of a kind that I didn't like it one bit.
Well, we were riding through the country because it used to be the country. Now Monroe's building up like every place else. But we were riding down the road. I was on the left side. He was on the right. And all of a sudden, in the corner of my eye in his mirror, I seen him cut his bike and lay it in the ditch. I went up and turned around. I come back. By the time I got back to him, he was standing in the middle of the road, jumping up and down, and his shorts are down to his ankles. And I looked at him, I said, "What are you doing?" A wasp flew up, stung him in his thigh, flew up into some other area and stung him several more times. Because anybody knows anything about wasps, they don't die when they sting. Yeah. They keep stinging.
The first time I got stung, I grabbed, and I could feel it, and I squished, and I got over, and I felt pretty cool. It swelled up. I felt like a real man for a couple days, man. It's not a family show, by the way. I'm just sorry, but yeah, maybe it is. I don't know.
But no, I tell the kids, you got to wear your safety equipment.
Yeah. Yep, it's important.
I had a friend of mine. She was on the back of her husband's bike, and they were riding down the road, and he hit a pothole, and it was bad enough that it flipped the whole bike.
Yeah.
He went with the bike. She went flying. She didn't have gloves on. Her hands got tore up when she hit that pavement.
It takes a fraction of a second to get through your skin.
Right. So, May is motorcycle awareness. I'm out pushing the yard signs. Yeah. Everywhere I go, I got yard signs. I went to the Novi bike swap meet back in March.
Yeah.
We sold 10 yard signs there. We sold a bunch of bumper stickers and that.
Yep.
So we are pushing the yard signs. We believe every place should have a yard sign. If you're a rider, you should have a yard sign. Boss man, you need a couple yard signs for your business out here.
Yeah.
Let everybody know.
Yeah, let me take a minute to thank the U.S. military vets from Jackson for hosting us today. They had their stuff going on today, and one of the guys, my buddy Pyro, stayed late to help us out, let us do this. So thank you, Pyro, and
thank you,
U.S. military vets. Awesome club. They have open nights, guys. Look them up. Events on Facebook all over. So many events. No one's going to get to all of them, but
right, you can't.
No. What? So does ABATE have events during May for like?
Oh yeah. My region's having this coming up Sunday. After our meeting, we're doing a ride, and then Memorial Day weekend, we're doing an awareness ride and a Memorial Day ride, kind of both together type thing. Every chapter has, every region has, May has an awareness ride of some kind in that.
Okay.
I also believe we're having a blessing of the bikes when we do ours. Baldwin.
Yeah.
Blessing of the bikes in that for May.
Okay. You guys have a ABATE up there, a region
Yeah, Region 5's up in that area.
Okay, because I'm good friends with Marlene from that does the blessing. They have the blessing fest now, and then the blessing on Sunday. But
Right.
yeah, we're where the fire station is. We're hosting biker game. My friends are hosting biker games there, and I'm going to be covering them live by the fire department on Saturdays. If you guys are up there, you should come on over.
My family owned 10 acres just south of Baldwin.
Okay,
You want to hear another funny story?
absolutely.
We're up there at the property in May. I didn't know it was the blessing month, blessing weekend, and we had to go get town. We had to go get some groceries and some gas and all that. This is back when you could ride in the back of a pickup truck. That tells you how long.
Yeah.
My oldest son is 41 years old now.
Okay.
So he was like 5, 6.
Yeah.
We're up at the gas station and we're getting gas and that, and a whole bunch of bikes pulled up. And the female got off the back of the bike to go into the gas station, and my son yelled out, "Yeah, look at the rear end on that one." Different language, but look at that.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh God, I'm in my early 20s. I'm gonna get my ass whooped by all these bikers." The guy, I love bikers. That's how come I joined ABATE and all that. The guy just gets off his bike and turns on the pump and that, and he looked at her and he says, that's why I'm with her. And I just, I'm sweating bullets there for us.
That's better than him going, thanks, I work out.
I think I'm gonna get my ass whooped, because back then I didn't belong to nothing.
Right, they get it though. People, they get it. They know we're looking, and the girls know guys are looking. It's just how we're made. God made us.
But there is respect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Always respect.
Yeah.
There's respect for the clubs. We're very into the clubs, helping them out.
Yep.
Them help us out. So we show our respect to the clubs.
Yeah.
They gave us plenty of respect.
Yep.
Because they like what we're doing. ABATE's here to fighting for them just as much as it's fighting for us and the independents.
Yep. And with clubs, rubs, or scrubs, right?
And I am a firm believer that if you want to ride with a bunch of friendly people and the ABATE's totally different than the clubs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Let me, most people might not understand this. To join a club like the veterans, you got to be a veteran.
Yeah.
And then you got to get somebody to sponsor you.
Yep.
To join the club.
Yep.
And that. ABATE's not like that. We're an organization. We're open to the public. All you got to do is just show up. Just come check us out. Come see what we're about. You're more than welcome to join any of our rides.
Okay.
Everybody's welcome to come join a ride. We have Facebook. You can get on the internet thing, Facebook. Yeah. I'm not on it. I'm still old school.
That's okay.
Up until 3 years ago, I still had a flip phone.
That battery's probably still alive.
But yeah, we have Facebook. Each region has a thing on the Facebook, the state Facebook, so you can check out the area you're from. There'll be a listing of events they're doing, and for you to come out and join. Come on, check us out. Yeah. We want you to check us out.
And ABATE has a webpage with all the regions, links to regions.
Right.
And they have a long list of stuff going on, because I was looking at that yesterday in preparation for the show. No one will believe I prepared for the show, including me, but I do a little bit actually. So.
Well, you're better than me because I had to work last night.
All right. Oh yeah.
You need work on a Saturday night. I don't like working Saturday nights.
No, I don't like working.
But no. Again, May is Motorcycle Awareness, and check out the website and that. And I'm gonna throw a little thing out there if I can.
Absolutely. There it is.
My wife is in charge of one of our biggest functions to keep ABATE going, and that's our bike raffle. And this year, for the 3rd year in a row, my wife was able to get 2 motorcycles.
All right. Oh yeah.
For $10.
Yeah.
You buy a $10 ticket. You could either win a Harley Street Glide,
2025,
or an Indian Chief.
Yep.
2025.
Yep. I saw that yesterday at Steel Horse Ranch. You guys were up.
Yeah. You could get either one of the motorcycles. Winner's choice. We're not giving both away. Winner's choice. And there's second prize is $300. Third prize is $200. Fourth prize is $100. But ABATE, this is how we keep the organization running
Sure.
to help.
Yeah, us.
You
Nothing
know?
runs for free.
Right. That bike raffle helps pay for these keychains that we give the kids,
Bracelets.
the bracelets we give to the kids, and the
Pens.
pins that we give to the kids. All this is given to the kids totally free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to pay for it somehow. So we do the bike raffle every year to help pay for the classes and for what we do in Washington and in Lansing, fighting for all the bikers' rights.
Yep, for sure.
So that's, I mean, I'm going to throw that out there for you guys if you're interested in picking up a bike ticket. And let me tell you something. The first year, the winner took the Indian.
Yeah.
First year we did it, the winner took the Indian. Last year, the winner had a real hard time deciding between the Indian and the Harley.
Yeah.
So he flipped the coin, and when the coin come down, he ended up with the Harley.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's
6 of one, half dozen of the other, man.
both were very beautiful bikes. Both were very fun bikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me personally, I prefer the Indians because I'm an Indian rider.
Okay.
As you can see, a proud Indian owner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like my Indians, but
Hey, man.
probably why I'm with my wife too,
There
because
you
she's
go.
part Indian.
Yeah. All right. Just the good part, right?
Yeah, not the other parts.
Right.
Man, she gets feisty. But no, May is motorcycle awareness. If you need a yard sign, get on the website.
Yep.
We can get you a yard sign. From any of the regions can get you a yard sign. Or me personally, I'll make sure you get a yard sign because that's part of what I do.
Okay. Or they, if you see ABATE at event, typically they have the yard signs.
We have yard signs at events, bumper stickers, magnets. We carry all that stuff at our little tables we set up. Plus the bike tickets.
Yep. They'll have them there too.
Yeah.
Until I think the drawing's in September this year.
The first weekend in September. So the bike tickets have to be turned all back in by state regulations by the 1st of August.
Okay. So you got up until the 1st of August to get your tickets.
Right.
So great. Leo,
Help us out.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
We'll put some links up in the description and all that. Get involved in ABATE. It's easier to be proactive than reactive with the stuff that's going on as far as legal stuff. And look for Big Sex out there. And
if anybody is out there that's interested in helping me out with the classes and that, please contact me. My email is bigsexy1665@hotmail.com. And my phone number's in the magazine too, or on the website. When you go through it,
okay,
it will show officers, and my phone number's on there too.
Okay, it's MAIL Hotmail, not Big Sexy is a Hotmail.
I wish. I wish.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. May Motorcycle Awareness Month. We'll see you guys all at events. He's going to be at a bunch of events. Look for him. If you have any questions or something for him or any ABATE member, just approach him and ask, man. They're awesome to talk to. Good people. So we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody. Hopefully I see you on the road.
All right.